Of course, more on that coming up within the program. For now, it's back to you, Chris.
Uche, thank you. Well, let's begin in Tunisia, where at least 9 people have been injured after a woman blew herself up in Central Tunis. 8 police officers are among the wounded. The incident took place along a major street where the French embassy is situated. The woman involved is said to be 30 years old and without any previous criminal record. Tunisian authorities have termed it as a terrorist attack. Police have cordoned off the scene of the blast as investigations progress. Tunisia's tourism sector is still recovering from a series of deadly militant attacks that happened 3 years ago. Well, let's get you more on this from CGTN's Adnan Chauche, who's keeping tabs on that incident. He's joining me on the line from Tunis. Adnan, that suicide blast in the Tunisian capital was quite unexpected. What more do you know? What can you tell us?
Of course, it's quite unexpected because Habib Bourguiba Avenue is one of the most controlled areas in the whole country. Actually, there are every day hundreds of policemen deployed in the area, and it's very difficult to witness any problems, any security problems on Habib Bourguiba Avenue. Even if when there are mass demonstrations with thousands of people in the streets, really nothing happens because people come and go back home safely. So control of the belongings and bags of the citizens is now carried out on the level of the streets, opening on Habib Bourguiba Avenue in Tunis following the suicide attack perpetrated this afternoon near the municipal theater. It's about 400 meters from the French embassy, but it's clear that the target was the security forces, the policemen who were monitoring, controlling Habib Bourguiba Avenue. A state of panic took over the citizens who noted the more that most shops and malls located on the avenue were closed. Even cafes were closed on the avenue. A total paralysis of traffic on light metro lines passing through the Habib Bourguiba Avenue was also recorded. A mobile laboratory was on the scene of the suicide attack, and policemen and the technical police arrived just a few minutes after the attack. The military security officers and ambulances present on the scene refused to make statements, but it's clear this is the first terrorist attack on Habib Bourguiba Avenue. People are under shock here in Tunis and in Tunisia in general, but they are also happy that there were no victims. No one has died. Only the terrorist has died in this attack. But policemen and civilians have been injured, but their lives are not in they are not in a dangerous situation. They have been transported to the nearest hospital in the capital city, Tunis. Some hundreds of officers have been deployed, and it's clear that we are witnessing a very long night, and the avenue will be closed until tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., because authorities need at least 12 hours to finish the investigation on Habib Bourguiba Avenue. The girl, the 30-year-old terrorist, was from the coastal city of Nadia, and she was not known to the intelligence services or to the security forces because she does not have a criminal record at the Interior Ministry.
So hundreds of officers have been deployed to the city now, and Tunisia has tried hard to rebuild its security structures after suffering previous deadly terror attacks. What's the likely impact of this blast on those recovery efforts?
The Interior Ministry has issued a communique saying that all officers have been deployed, and it's clear that it's a dangerous and a very alarming attack. But it is clear for Tunisians that the Interior Ministry will not be affected by this terrorist attack. On social networks, Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb region claimed responsibility for the attack. And it's worth mentioning that over the past 4 weeks, at least 2 terror attacks were foiled by the Interior Ministry, and a well-known terrorist who belonged to Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb was neutralized by the anti-terrorism units. So this is a very dangerous terrorist attack, a very alarming attack, but it will not deter the Interior Ministry and the Army and the National Guard from neutralizing terrorist cells, and especially sleeper cells in Tunisia. It's worth mentioning that many of the terrorists who or people who belong to terror organizations in Tunisia were trained in conflict zones, and they are returning to Tunisia from the border with Libya. They were trained on making bombs and on armed conflict in conflict zones. This woman terrorist, was not known, but it's clear that the authorities will have the information in the coming hours, because they already have over 1,300 people in Tunisian prisons who are directly or indirectly connected to terror networks.
Right. Adnan Chauchi joining us there from Tunis on the line there with that update.